Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to today's Thrive Live. This is Relative Growth, and we're all about empowering women to be their true, authentic, confident self. And today's going to be a fun one. So, I actually had a guest speaker lined up for our Thrive Live today. I was really excited about it. I wanted to talk about anxiety and panic attacks. And dive deep into that discussion. And I had Lindsay ready to go to be able to help bring some peace and input in on the subject. And guess what? We could not figure it out how to add a guest onto our discussion. And so that brings me to our new topic, effing up. And what does that mean? So, effing up. What do you think about that? Are we failing? Are we flowing? Are we beeping up? And that, too often, we allow the fear of failure to stop us from going after our dreams. Too often, failure stops us in our tracks. And we don't continue down our path because it's scary, it's embarrassing, it proves a point. Whatever these untruths are that we tell ourselves, we allow the possibility or even failure to hold us back. And so I want us to start looking at it in a new light. Today was a growth. It wasn't a failure. It wasn't an F-up. I was flowing through my journey of growth. And sometimes it doesn't go how we plan. And that's okay. Because I had a lovely conversation with someone I have not spoken to face to face in a very long time. I got to brainstorm with new ideas of how to solve our F-up, which I will not allow it to be an F-up. It was a growth experience. And allowed me to come on and talk about a new topic that is still just as important, because with life, it's inevitable. Perfection would be boring, wouldn't it? I mean, if everything just worked out easily the first time around, that would be boring. What growth do we have within the moment? As we learn, and I think as adults, we forget about it. Because as we're infants, as we're making sure I wasn't having audio, sometimes I get messages being like, your audio is off. As children, we spend a lot of our time having to learn. And having adults say, try it this way. Try it again. What could we have done different? What could we have done better? What are you proud of? It was a part of our process. And as adults, we kind of lose that aspect of, you know what? Messing up is a part of the process of life. Having the ability to fail is not a bad thing. It is a great, great gift. And I actually think it was one of the best gifts I was ever given. Was I was thrown into a situation where if I didn't do anything, I was 120% going to fail. Simple as that. So I had no choice but to go out there and make mistakes. And mistakes I made. But I learned. And I survived. And I grew. And I became better and stronger and smarter and faster and bigger and better. And all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, there's nothing holding me back except for myself. Let me say that again. There was nothing holding me back from my dreams except for myself. Except for my fear of failing. But I also realized to go after my dreams, to learn something new, I was 100% going to fail. But I was going to fail up. And let me explain that. I was going to fail up. I wanted to learn how to do something new. I was going to learn. I was going to research. I was going to give it my all. And not always. Sometimes it was like home run right out of the ballpark. I didn't have to practice. I was Babe Ruth, or not even going to go down the baseball analogies. But you get my point. Like, there's times where I didn't fail. But then there are times where I most definitely failed. And it was okay. I learned and I grew. And so I actually started putting in to not be fearful of failures. But I was starting to have little tiny failures so the outcomes weren't so scary. So it would be, I'm going to do, for this, I'm going to do a Facebook Live and I'm going to have a guest on. Well, I failed at the aspect that I couldn't get the guest on today. But it was okay because it's just between you and I. We're friends and you love me still and you're going to say, okay, we'll watch next week. It's okay. So I fail smallly. I fail up. And now I have a plan. I'm going to execute the plan and we're going to do everything we can for her to come back next week. So we're failing up. It's not, we're going to fail back downwards. And you know what? Sometimes it happens. They always say there's a diagram where entrepreneurship is not straight up. Life is not straight up. There's a lot of twists and turns and ups and downs and all the way around until you keep going. But you are constantly moving up. So, what does this mean? What's the whole takeaway of this conversation? This takeaway is, do not be afraid of failure. It's a part of the process. It's part of the journey. It's part of how we learn. You can put in little tiny steps so that if and when you do fail, they're small. You learn, you pivot, you change, and you try again. Because every time that you fail, you need to thank yourself for being brave enough, courageous enough, true enough to your dreams to go out there and do a little bit more. I want you to write down a dream. It can be big, it could be small. It could be a goal that you have for this month. And I want you to figure out what are 3 steps that you can do to go after that dream, to go after that goal. And then try to take the first step. Don't look at the big whole goal. Just look at that one step. See what happens. And if it doesn't go exactly as planned, that's okay. If it fails, that's okay. That is awesome. You were brave enough to take that step, and that within the self means you're a winner. If it doesn't go exactly how you want it, look at why it didn't go how you want it. What changes can you make to make it better next time? Because it's progress, not perfection. That's what we're striving for. My friends, you are stronger than you know. You have it within you to do this. So go out there. Fail up. Go after those dreams. Make those small choices. Learn from them. Grow from them. And speaking of growth, November's growth journal will be coming out next week. And it is a good one. We're talking about authenticity. And authenticity to me is really the foundation of your happiness and discovering what your purpose is and what really makes your life flow. And we're going to be digging into that next month. So come and sign up. There is a link below. Your growth journal is just $5. Less than a cup of coffee. And within there, you get tons of tips and tricks and ideas and journal prompts that are going to help you really discover the path that you want to be on. To be your best version. To love yourself today as who you are and be proud of the person that you're becoming. I'll see you see you next week for Thursday's Thrive Live. If you like this video, remember to give it a like, to share. If you're not already subscribing to this page, give us a subscribe. Mwah! We'll see you next week. Bye.